switching sides. We'll see how different the draft looks. CLG still removing the Zyra on the blue side. LeBlanc gone from Cloud9.
Yep, and we talked a lot about Cloud9, but Counterlogic Gaming, Darshan actually did quite well in the top lane, tried to make a few plays for himself. He was getting starved out a little bit, and then the Olaf wasn't completely cohesive to the composition, so now that they swap sides, you could see a Kha'Zix for Xmithie, which might fit a little bit better with what they want.
Absolutely agree. Kha'Zix definitely a first pick worthy champion, and 15 seconds to go for Counterlogic Gaming's last ban of the first phase. You expect the Rengar to be the final one through Lee Sin to help pinch the pool if Rengar comes in. It means Contracts doesn't get Rengar, Kha'Zix, or Lee Sin in the pick, which informs why that Lee Sin was banned away.
Which, I don't know if it's like 100% bad for Contracts, and I had said it previously where like his Rengar and his Lee Sin are his two best champions, and then from there it's just a big drop-off, and they take the Kha'Zix away, so now they'll put him on something like we've seen him on Graves previously, we've seen him also play things like Rek'Sai.
Sure.
So
Elise can be fine.
Yep. Elise
breaks isolation, right? Like the Spiderlings count as not being isolated if he goes to 1v1 you? I assume so. I mean, it would be weird if it didn't, so I don't know if it's specifically a good matchup in a Kha'Zix. We don't see it very much. The pros don't seem to think so, but is an option on the table regardless. Varus, no surprise here, picked up there on the Cloud9 side, and again, seems to be the king of the bot role right now. Varus, the go-to bot lane marksman, and speaking of, you mentioned the Graves for Contracts, and 18 seconds till that's a reality.
Yeah, it's a strong champion that you would want to take some CC alongside. And if they last pick something like they pick their jungler AD carry, so if they pick support on the other side, you can just counter support, pick top laner, something like that. So
Rek'Sai it is.
Okay, yeah, it's like they have to get CC to really make a Graves work. Yeah, you would want to like guarantee a Maokai or guarantee having like a support Malzahar, which is still up, by the way.
It is. Something I've noticed that's fairly interesting now that we see this Rek'Sai picked up here is I feel like the most successful teams are actually running double tank compositions again. That we see so much Kha'Zix and Rengar and all these assassin jungles who are very, very squishy, but I've seen an increased focus on trying to get two tanks in, whether you're saying, yep, we're going to go for the Braum anyway in support, we're going to go for the Rek'Sai anyway in jungle. Rek'Sai, I believe, was like the third most popular jungler this week in pro play. She's really risen in popularity because it's a Cinderhulk tank-build champion. Yep. And it seems like teams are going towards that style of composition. Rek'Sai fits it very easily and allows me to play something squishier in that backline role. Of course, CLG picking a squishy support. They've already picked a squishy jungler. Tanks are limited now.
Yeah, now it's kind of, I think you would take either Misfortune for yourself, or you would go for the Lulu.
Yeah.
Those are the two that I would consider here.
He can reprise his Tahm Kench role, right? Like there's interesting things to look for, and
that's true. Tahm Kench isn't terrible against Malzahar either.
It's often picked into it for the matchup to save people off of the Nether Grasp. The laning phase not super easy, but Taric bridges the gap a little bit. You can turn invulnerable during some of the plays, but also you have the CC to bring out. And Taric will be once again the tank support, so triple tank for Cloud9 unless they're waiting to see if Impact can play a squishy in the top lane. Kennen's up, Swain's up, Fiora's up.
That's right, they would need a ton of damage from Jensen. And Sneaky's would be mostly poke for these fights if he goes for the lethality build.
Right.
So having triple tank, a little bit risky. You'll typically see a Rek'Sai plus a tanky bottom lane support if you're going to run a carry top laner like you said. And the Taric is interesting into the Malzahar. We'd actually done a segment on Malzahar where Taric, he can stun the Voidlings when they come out, make sure that they don't multiply. He's also invulnerable during a lot of the plays, like the duration of the Nether Grasp will still come down once you started the channel. But also his passive where he swings twice helps you kill the Voidlings off as well.
Absolutely, and the bonus damage triggers into more damage as well, of course, the passive giving that proc damage. So you can see a tank ban in the top lane from Cloud9, again showing they don't really want to play tanks themselves, they'd rather play something higher damage. The Jace ban, and I wonder if it's going to be Kennen or Fiora. Those are the popular top lane carry picks. We've got to see what it actually comes out to be. Fiora actually banned away by Cloud9. That I find interesting, because I don't think it would fit the CLG comp in any way. But still an interesting choice to be made. Final ban, Netta come through for Counterlogic Gaming. We know top and mid lane are the roles available unless CLG flexes the Malzahar to mid. We've seen it sometimes.
I think here you ban something like Syndra.
And look for a Corki?
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Syndra ban, which actually opens up for Corki pretty well. And Azir can be a counter into it. Hoopy's Azir wasn't that good when we last saw it, but can always be an option. Cloud9, what are you looking to do here with your picks?
Yeah, if they pick Corki, then they're definitely trying to counter pick their top laner.
Tank.
But they're just going to go triple tank and try to pull out a high DPS mid and get Jensen to counter pick here.
That's interesting. I'm surprised by that being the line of play here by Cloud9, but it's clearly one they wanted to go for. Triple tank, Varus plus Jensen playing something scary. We'll leave the counter pick here to the mid lane. CLG tried last game, and that didn't work out for him.
I just wanted to give a little bit of shout out here. Stixxay always hovers Warwick. This is one of his first champions, his favorite champions as well. It's the last time he can do it before it gets reworked.
That's true. Well, yeah, it might just be banned. Never gets to play it again. Who knows?
Well, I'm just saying, it's a different...
It'll be a different graphic at the very least.
Different champion for a bit as well,
yeah,
in terms of people playing it. But it's not the same. It's just not the same.
It's just not the same. Splash art changes no longer. Who knows? But Toronto gonna be the counter pick here. Darshan gonna play the anti-tank fighter, and even with Fiora banned, you've still got a good split pusher, a good fighter, a good lane matchup into that side of the map. CLG will blind pick Orianna, and they've got a bit more sustained damage than last time. You know, Jhin and Varus similar profiles, but Malzahar going to be more threatening. Trundle the same, and CLG may have fixed some of their team fight issues, and there's that Azir looking at Jensen, scary mid laner.
You go Azir or you go Cassio. Cassio would be, okay, I want to play into the counter matchup, but the Azir counters the Orianna due to the distance and the range, puts pressure on Orianna to get multi-man shockwaves during team fights, where you have to hit both Jensen and Sneaky. Emperor's locked in again. Triple tank line for His Majesty.
For His Majesty, the tank line is here. Cloud9 putting a lot of faith in Jensen to work the team fights, unless we see Contracts go for a more damage-focused build. Counter Logic Gaming, they've got Jhin for engage. They've got a Trundle split push, and it's supposed to win. This lane's supposed to be good for CLG's top lane. Darshan did well against Impact in Game 1. He wasn't looking good in Week 1. Has looked better here in Week 2. Darshan could be a linchpin. And back in the day when CLG was dominant, it was off the back of Darshan split pushing. That style could be a key to success here.
Yeah. I look at the draft, and we were talking about winning drafts and losing drafts. I actually think just Cloud9's draft, with the high damage that they have from Jensen, the peel that they have, and the lack of engage from CLG, how do you get to this Azir consistently? How do you get to him reliably? You have a Trundle top lane. You don't have a Maokai for the point and click. You have a Kha'Zix who's mostly just damage, no CC. Somebody has to deliver that ball into the back line if you want to get it there in a reliable fashion.
And it's risky if that's Kha'Zix. Squishy champion.
And
Gonna be fun to watch.
And there's like a Taric to boot.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah. There's plenty of tools to deal with it, so it's going to be interesting to watch how it plays out. CLG probably on the back foot in the 5-on-5, maybe the 1-3-1 looks a bit better. Game 2 about to be underway. Cloud9 with a reasonably solid Game 1 win, and now they're a single Nexus away from being alone in first place. 4-0 to start. We'll see if they can do it here. And next up, it's going to be Counter Logic Gaming, hoping to turn it all around. They've got to win 2 straight to salvage a rough start to the split. Game 2 underway.
And Jensen with the protection, and Jensen also with the SKT skin for Azir.
Why not? The Emperor of North American mid lane, Jensen, may just be that. He's dethroned Bjergsen, maybe.
I mean,
we'll have to see when they rematch.
It could be the year of Jensen. 2017 could be that year where he actually takes the throne. It's a little early to say it for sure.
Nope.
It could be.
Here in North America, we jump to unfounded conclusions during Week 2 games. Jensen is the best mid laner the world has ever seen.
Wow.
That call would not go well in any other region. But here in North America, we pander to the audience.
I mean, it depends if you do it
in Denmark specifically.
Right?
Then they'd be like, wait, but Froggen and everyone else.
But still, Jensen has a lot of support from his team. You know, a lot of people are taking up that mantle of shot calling and spreading around the duties, where he doesn't have to say much except man him clean after the fight.
Yep, that's true.
Focus on his play, focus on playing the lane.
Ooh, photogenic. Smoothie doing his best Irene cosplay.
What?
Just being as attractive as he can.
Aww.
Yeah, look at that.
Wait, is this like
We're
the
back
skin
in the
thing? Are you trying to get me back?
Yeah. Trying to butter you up.
Man, like, if this goes to Game 3, we're going to have a little co-caster with us. Tri-cast from then on.
Wow. That did not go where I was expecting.
We'll adopt an audience member. Oh, man. I love you, too.
Aww, it's so happy over here. Meanwhile, in bot lane, there's action and excitement. And Smoothie running away. Excitement over.
Yep. And you can see already Contracts just puts a ward up forward, make sure that there's nothing happening, like a flank around from McSmithy, who started on the top side, because Kha'Zix can clear this top side, then try to make a little clever leap play by going up above. Actually doesn't go for a full clear on that top side, goes buff to the other isolated camp to the other buff. So it's one of the faster routes in terms of actually getting the experience as Kha'Zix. But it means eventually you have to loop back for those wolves, those pesky wolves.
Get them eventually. Right now they're just lone wolves, sitting by themselves, hunting for no prey at all. Aframu, I love this from supports. You push in the first couple of waves, and then you go for the aggressive trinket ward afterwards. I even like the fact that he put it on that side of the wall, because he can expect that Contract's actually doing Gromp right now. The expected jungle path puts Contracts right here at this time. And Afro could have put that trinket over the wall and let Contracts know that he sees him. Instead, he puts it in front of the blue buff, not visible. And now Contracts doesn't know for certain that he's seen. He can infer based on him leaving lane, but it's just a little bit of an information play, and I really like it. Rek'Sai, of course, taking her own blue buff. Apparently did not vote for the Emperor, as Jensen's not going to get that buff right now. Doesn't agree with his reign, apparently. Sneaky and Smoothie once again. You can see what the matchup is supposed to look like. It's CLG with the push lead. Again, the deep ward from Aframu gives them this sense of safety. And it's always going to be difficult for Smoothie to get in on this. If Aframu has this passive on right now, you can see that the semicircle floating around him. He's immune to CC while that's happening. He has to take damage, get hit by Sneaky or Smoothie somehow before that's going to turn off. Now the play for Huhi, the knockup is there, and Orianna losing half her health bar. The trade back on a contract. That's still advantage C9.
Yep. Darshan early teleport as well to get back into this lane, which just gets shoved in by the Nautilus early on. Eventually you turn the matchup around, but
this stun means nothing. Smoothie pushed out.
Yeah, made sure he didn't take more damage from the Voidlings because he ended up getting rooted there. That's the combination of the Malzahar and the Jhin, but this is a really far up Nautilus.
Well,
already
early
flashed.
teleport gave him a lot of health. They're trying to knock down Impact. You're right. Impact is flashless, trying to make something else happen. He's got absolutely nowhere to go. Quick kill pickup. First blood to Darshan. The work pays off. Nicely played, CLG.
Looks like he flashed right as the cone was coming up, and it got stopped there by the pillar.
Oh, wow. Wanted to get away from the CC. Didn't happen at all.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, the most crucial lane to give first blood to. I think we can establish CLG's 5v5 does not look good. They need to split push, and Darshan has an advantage in his split push matchup.
Yep, and Darshan already TP'd, but Impact TP'd back in, got some big chunk damage onto Darshan that he might actually have to take a trip back.
Pretty good trade on Aframu, though. C9 actually finding a good side of it. Sneaky kited the Voidlings away, and Smoothie got a bit of hits off. Afro still has some potions, though. Huhi having a miserable time in this lane, though. You can see down 8 minions and nearly dead as well. And this is a terrible recall. He'll miss his entire wave.
Yeah, you talk about Jensen in those matchups where he's countered, the ones where he has the advantage. It looks a little disgusting, to be honest. Like, how are you going to play Orianna against this early game, late game? It gets rough.
Is on the route. Good dodge there by Sneaky. Keep in mind, Voidlings gonna go in for that. Ooh, okay. 6A, I think if he wasn't exhausted, might have gotten the kill, because it was going to be the big 4th shot crit.
But that was bold because he still had heal.
Yeah, it was probably not worth it, to be honest, as you kind of think about it all the way through. But it is flash for heal plus exhaust, so in total value, maybe a positive trade, but it does mean Stixay is now a gankable champion.
Exactly. That's the thing, is it means he's a gankable champion. And Aframu, he's been doing his damnedest to try and stop those ganks. He actually, when he went up and warded earlier, he actually killed the cone, and we'll see here.
No wards here. Impact has to get away with this one. Pillar to block the anchor. Can he do it? Yes!
Yeah!
Perfect by Darshan. Pillar to block the anchor. Smithy jumps over. Give the kill to Darshan. Smithy, don't be a scumbag. Well done. Darshan 2-0. Impact getting massacred now.
And that's exactly what they need. Like you said, the Trundle, he's the split push. He's kind of the win condition for the team. Hitting back Darshan all the way to Team Coast back in the day.
Woo! Spicy plays out of Jensen, who he takes the ride and yet wins the trade anyway. Jensen maybe bit up more than he could chew. The Heartseeker going for the play. Flash, heal. The damage not quite enough. Huhi and he gets it. Huhi in the 1v2 outplay. Loses his life, but it looks super flashy.
Yeah, and that's going to be actually a kill and assist going over. It's worth a little bit more gold to the side of C9, just because they had contracts on that one. But the top lane, this is the big thing. They pulled contracts to mid. He can't help on the top side.
Look at this. CLG putting the eggs in the Darshan basket.
And we were talking about how he was performing the best out of everybody so far. Huhi was also up there, but Stixay and Aframu, now they're just saying, get a serviceable bot lane and go top.
Looking for the stun. Gonna land that shot. Smithy able to run away, though. Thankfully, kites away nicely enough. No cooldowns available. But look at this. Counter Logic Gaming, 1,700 gold up, and the crucial members are winning.
This is Jensen being incredibly bold here.
Because he lands no damage at all.
Yeah, it's actually
He
the
has
turret.
full HP.
The turret, the minions are too far forward. He actually doesn't take any turret shots there. And Jensen's cooldown, as well as his mana, is a little bit scarce right now. Has to blow the heal, and then the ghost and the flash from Huhi is enough to pick up the counter kill.
And the thing is, Huhi going for the flash play is actually the wrong play there. He loses his flash and gives away a -150 gold trade by giving away an assisted kill. If Huhi just says, you're chunked out of lane, thanks very much, we'll take the lead, that is actually the better value play. It looks cooler, it's the highlight play. I love that he's willing to go for the hyphy move, but they could have maybe turned around on a contract instead. Huhi wouldn't have died. It's hard to critique someone who made a cool play, but I really do think that objectively you look back on that and say, take the advantage that you got, take the double summoner burn and walk away with your life.
It may have just been a lot of damage, though, that he was expecting to come through from Contracts. I believe Contracts is actually running Fervor of Battle at the moment on this Rek'Sai.
Yeah, he's got the 7% armor pen, so unless you're doing Warlord's Bloodlust or Deathfire Touch, both of which would be wrong, it is a very damaging Rek'Sai build.
Yeah, we've seen it a bit. It was in the LCK, and then it made its way over here. Lyra was playing it as well yesterday. You go Tiamat first, you just try to accelerate your early game, because Rek'Sai falls off to tank status and is kind of relegated to that, and you buy Titanic Hydra. So instead of just being like, okay, we'll be tankier later or a little bit tankier early, let's just have more damage. So the time that I stay alive, I'm actually dealing a decent amount, which is good for this team that has only 2 threats of Jensen and Sneaky.
Sure. Adding on to the fire, never hurt anyone really. 1 kill right now for Contract. Let's see what else they can get with this. CLG in the lead. We'll see if they can get more. 1,800, 1,900 the gold lead. Looking for Scuttle Crab control, killing away some of the wards also. Darshan aggressively into impact, has a level lead, pops his ulti, looking for damage into the brush. And you can see the damage you can do when impact is behind. Double Doran's Rings versus Tiamat, not exactly tank stats.
Oh, it feels awful as the Nautilus to just buy some Dorans for HP. We're, man, at this point, maybe could have had the Bomby Cinder. And now your build is delayed even further, where you know that Trundle's going to hit a first item spike, second item spike way earlier than you. He'll have that Ravenous Hydra before you really even have a completed armor item. I would even say like a Chain Vest. It'd be rather late.
Trade of flashes Darshan in a bad way. Now knocked up, Red Smite used, and that's going to be a kill picked up. Impact finally turning it around. There wasn't enough ward control to keep him safe, and Contracts makes the roam happen. CLG unable to capitalize on the jungler showing topside.
And that's what happens when you have the split push, but you start split pushing a little bit early and just try to go for the, force down that turret top, force down that tier 2. You go too far in, you're on the enemy's side of the map. There has to be a rotation that's a little bit better than that. Yeah. Even showing up bottom to try and get like a level 6 play where Afromove ends up hitting that could be better, or making something like a teleport play off of pushing impact off of turret. Would be interesting.
Let's see what they can get. He walks over a ward. They know they're going for the play in the bot lane. You can see how far back Cloud9 is playing, but this is a much more proactive counter Logic Gaming. They are holding the gold lead. Looking to get even more here.
At top lane, though, Darshan is hugging the turret. Knows that they're making a play on the bottom side of the map, or his team is.
Not anymore.
Not Impact, though. Now he's got to call Contracts up
Darshan
before he dies.
Have lost love, and look at Impact running away. Gets the honey fruit. I like that, but look at the damage for Darshan. It's close to this one. Now has to respect Contracts' damage. One more honey fruit. Ulti is needed, and he pops it, but not in time. The kill comes through. Contracts doing too much damage. Darshan bit up more than they could chew.
Woo, he had like 2 seconds left. As soon as it comes up, he pops it, but still not enough to keep him healthy and alive. And they're trying to kill Jensen.
Flash pulled on a Smoothie. He's dead for this one. Shockwave pulls Jensen back in. Look at this, the 2 for 0 in enemy territory. Counter Logic Gaming turning it on.
And they have all 3 of the outer turrets. They have to be proactive like this, though. They have to be able to take over that early game, because like you said, the 5-on-5, not really in their favor. C9's comp, a little bit better suited to that.
If only they had more people in range, he could have died for that as well, but this is just such a different CLG from game 1. They have so much more pressure. They're getting Darshan ahead, and yeah, okay, he squandered it a bit, but the proactive plays, the roams, it's almost 3 turrets to 0. It's 2 right now, but 3rd was getting low.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be that last outer there. Jensen has to shifting sands away. Smoothie gets caught by the flash play from Afromove.
But that's a silly flash as well.
Yeah, flash straight down. And I feel like he felt as though if he went to the left, he's too close to where who he is, and might get picked up anyway.
Well, C9 trying to get the throttle back down. Really slick pillar. Still stunned himself a bit. But you can see the chase is coming. Darshan, there's the knock up. There's the slow down thanks to the red smite. Actually, just the burn. Not the slow. But yeah, able to walk it through. Darshan, level 8. The advantage he got still kept him equal with impact. And was able to walk away. And that's without even ulting as well. So pretty clean here.
Yeah, and the fact that Impact started getting back into the matchup is really good for him. He'll have that Sunfire cape before the Ravenous Hydra comes through, which is crucial. Otherwise, he's just sitting there having to clear with abilities all the time, and it doesn't feel great, and you just get shoved in all day.
Absolutely. Looking individual gold, Darshan is still about plus 400 over Impact, though current minion wave getting pushed in changes that a little bit. The global gold from the turret kills of CLG helping Darshan to keep this matchup going well for him. And if we go into Infinity, I think Darshan will still outscale in the 1v1. Not as bad as Fiora, not ignore turrets 1v3 inside your Nexus Fiora levels, but should still be looking good in the 1v1, and you can try to keep him occupied.
I absolutely agree. And as he just tries to keep somebody occupied, he has to call out for his team. Where is this Nautilus going?
Didn't look like much, but that is another summoner down. C9 actually on the back foot in almost all of these lanes here. Jensen, yeah, he was winning, but whoop. Okay, got it in time, Smithy. But every single lane, except for top and jungle, now losing in CS, losing in kills.
Yeah, you talk about Jensen. He was actually winning the lane, and then it got turned around. He went for the solo play with contracts showing up. There's going to be Huhi taking this turret down. That's that last outer.
3 turrets to 0.
Yeah, CLG in the driver's seat. Like, this is the position you want to be in. They're about 120% of the gold of Cloud9, so they're doing a really good job right now in terms of pace, keeping it up, picking up the Cloud Drake, and now they have to start taking control of that jungle and making sure that Darshan is safe when he splits.
Yes, that's really important. And of course, Smithy had gone for Challenging Smite, not for the green one with the wards attached, so can't give him that same vision. The wards will be stretched a little bit thin from Counter Logic Gaming. If they can do it right, they'll be okay. As you mentioned, CLG in the driver's seat, and Aphromoo has the wheel, one of the best shot callers North America has seen, and Counter Logic Gaming have won many games off the back of his direction here. We'll see if they can get the rest of it. 2.5, actually more like 3,000 now, the advantage of Counter Logic Gaming. Yet to lose a turret here. You've got to keep this moving. Cloud Drake actually, I think, is pretty helpful in a split push game.
Yeah, and like you were saying, they have to keep it moving because
they do.
C9, the Azir will hit the Rylai's Crystal Scepter sooner than he used to because of the price reduction, and then his team fight is pretty much online at that point. He'll have the Zerker's Greaves, and then he'll also be able to pick up Void Staff later, and that's pretty much your main target. Is you don't have to worry too much about Sneaky, who's now going for teamfight build as opposed to penetration, because it's a 2-threat team. Makes a lot more sense for the team fights. You got to keep Sneaky safe, you got to keep Jensen safe if you're on Cloud9, and make sure that they are actually scaling up. We're currently getting outscaled or outpaced.
Yeah. Yeah, even if compositionally your 5-on-5 looks better, a gold deficit can turn that around anyway, and CLG, I think, would be generally willing to take a fight based on the landscape of this game right now.
Yeah, especially right now.
Yeah, yeah. Big power spikes in, Ravenous Hydra already done, Hexdrinker gives the tank stats Xpithy needs against Jensen, and
yeah, in fact, right now, I would say it's just the prime time for CLG to make things like flash plays from Aphromoo to catch people out, because that's what you need to do, is get more picks.
Speaking of flashy plays, Aphromoo is going to flash in, coordinate with Xpithy. There's the 2-for-1, 2v1 rather, killing a Sneaky. And now in the jungle they go.
But now that they see that Darshan getting killed top, immediately push bottom. 3 people heading down to bottom, and Orianna's going to continue to push mid here. Top wave too far away to actually get a turret there from Impact, I believe. So he'll try to shove in. Rek'Sai, possibly. I don't think he has any tunnels out here. They've all been cleared out because he's lost in the jungle. So Contracts can't find a way in here.
He's roaming to support the 3-man push, but he could have gotten several hundred damage on mid lane tier 2, and this roam actually turns into nothing. I think a very minor mistake from Huhi, but I think misread the scenario a little bit. That turret would be at half HP. Shockwave lands, not quite enough damage to kill. Summoner heal baited out, though, as a result. And even just that pressure means they've still got more time for this bot lane turret. Red buff on his Smithy means a little bit more of that burn, a little bit more damage, and trading 1-for-1 overall in kills a little while back, but it is CLG keeping up the pace and getting more done on the map, whittling down these structures.
That's what they need to do, just make sure that this ends up being like a 30-minute game for them. They can't risk the scaling on Cloud9 and the team fight that they have with Darshan.
Greedy by Darshan.
Yeah. He's pulling pressure, to be fair. He's pulling the jungler, but the flash Yeah, he's gotten away a few times off of like tricky cones and stuff like that. He was feeling himself there, but
yeah,
that's the one that cost him.
He's just so willing to go for these big plays with no vision at all when the team doesn't need the help right now. I think that was definitely an avoidable mistake by Darshan. Didn't need to go for that, but, you know, can't give too much to blame when CLG are still winning in this one, and they're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, and
see what they can do.
And like the bottom lane, Stixxay and Aphromoo has been roaming around and been successful with 2 Malzahar ulti leading to kills. Also, Stixxay has been doing well with the CS this game, 10 per minute for him. And these are guys that were starting to disappear, so it looks like, you know, you help out Darshan a little bit, bring pressure to the top lane. Remember Spring Split 2016, it's like, you guys just got to camp Darshan. Darshan x Smithy was the combo that was going on, and now, oh, he disappeared with tanks for a bit, and it seems like if you can get him on a carry, it's that pressure again that frees up the bottom from the ganks. It allows Aphromoo to roam mid. It allows him to cause pressure on the rest of the map without having to sacrifice the bottom lane itself.
To temper my critique of Darshan a little bit, I do want to point out that just showing the opposing team you're willing to go for plays that aren't 100% always safe makes them respect you and makes Contracts have to sit top lane a bit more. Yeah, quick little dodge by Jensen. Maybe an over-eager ulti, but there we go. Darshan knocking on the turret, is level 11, pops the ulti now onto Impact, looking to chain him down, waiting to block everything. There's the pillar. He's going to walk forward. The flash to get a bit farther away. Stun into Smithy, but there's still damage coming out of Darshan. Couple more hits will do it. Quick shield out of Smoothie, and now the re-engaged Darshan going to lose some health, but first the Shockwave picks off the opposing top laner. 1-for-0 CLG, the play works out.
And now they're going to push bottom lane, and meanwhile, Stixxay is just shoving in the mid lane here. And Sneaky's up top, so Sneaky is just doing that thing where he gets the side wave farm and tries to pick up the turret here. The Sun Disc delayed a little bit. There's going to be some damage on this mid lane turret. Let's see if they can siege against the Azir without the Shockwave. And there they go. Yeah, exactly. Darshan on the bottom side, still split pushing, making sure that there's a threat here.
Yep.
So this becomes a tempo play of who can get ahead. Is Sneaky actually ahead in the top lane here on his shove? Like that's kind of the thing you have to evaluate. Like in the team comms, it's like, is he faster than us? I don't know. Has anybody backed for it yet? So now it pulls Darshan off the bottom side. That pressure is now gone. Whereas if Sneaky was with the team, they don't have to defend that tier 2 turret, and it works out well.
Yeah, overall turret damage, not great. 5% off the bot lane inhibitor turret, and about 15% off mid lane tier 2. And that was the trade basically made for their entire top outer. So wasn't the cleanest, wasn't the best, but see anything else that can happen. Sadly for CLG, no Rift Herald to be picked up. That actually would have been a great objective, and to be honest, with the map control they had, they could have gone for it, and it wouldn't have been a big investment. But not the situation they have here. Darshan, once again, to find his way onto the map, and he's going bot side, which is, I guess he has no teleport, so he needs to be bot lane anyway to set up for this Cloud Drake, but gotta see if Counterlogic Gaming are able to reinforce their waves properly with this Drake available. Because they've been going back and forth and trying to reinforce Darshan, the Cloud Drake actually really helps make sure they can get into those fights.
Yeah, so you go Cloud Drake, you push out the bottom side. Eventually what you're going to see from CLG, or what the ideal macro strategy would be, Darshan shoves up bottom, the team shoves up mid as 1 with like Huhi, the rest of them shove top as 3, and then they bounce between mid and top, but they always make Darshan move from bottom to mid when they start sieging top. So it's a back and forth where you're controlling and catching all of the waves.
Once again, the top laners split off on the right-hand side of the map. Roughly a 4-on-4 on the mid side. Both junglers still on their own side of the jungle, but they can reinforce quickly. 4,500 remains the lead for Counterlogic Gaming. They've held on for a while. They have lost games like this, though, where they had the lead and then let it all slip away. Liquid was one of those examples in the previous week. Darshan played Jace, and we had the early lead on a carry top. It didn't stick the whole way through.
Yeah.
Trying now the Trundle version of this. See, Impact does have to respect him, does have to give away some of the farm. CLG in control this side of the map.
Top lane's also a slow push for them. So this top wave will eventually be gigantic to the point that CLG would be able to push off of it if they stay mid and occupy bottom. And like I was saying, they'll rotate between bot and top. I said it was going to be 3 people pushing top. They actually just have the minion wave slow pushing for them, which is a great setup to bounce it back here.
And CLG making the decision. At any point in time, they could retreat and just take the Cloud Drake for free. I don't think anyone from Cloud9 could face check that, but they want to keep the pressure up on the lanes. Darshan battling Impact, light stealing through the shield, and the rest of the team going for that mid lane tier 2 turret. Shockwave's gonna catch one. Not quite enough damage to kill just yet. The flash get away and the snipe comes through, but the trade kills. Contracts picks up 1. Didn't get the invulnerability, but still a trade. Sneaky dead with Aphromoo gone as well. Mid lane turret still not going down. That nearly could have been more, but the Shockwave couldn't quite pick them all off.
Yeah, but that was the Shockwave we were talking about, where you have to catch both Jensen and Sneaky in it and get their summoner spells there, and he ended up dying. Now, Jensen might be looking for a play, but he has to... See, Jensen's on this side of the map because he has to stop a hold on.
Look on who he is. Huge flashed away, barely staying alive. Here comes Jensen. Can't quite find the play. Trades place with Smithy.
TP.
There's the root. There's the ball. The pillar as well. Setting it up.
Oh!
Can't quite get the kills through, but look at the damage onto the turret. Contract. Sniped down 600 damage from Stixay, and Impact is next up. The slows are there. CLG under the turret actually find 3 as a long-range snipe. The bounce from Stixay.
And right now, that top lane wave is huge, but they're just going to ignore this. Baron is on the table. They have the Voidlings from Malzahar. Doesn't matter if their HP is actually blinking. If they are fast enough, they'll be able to pick this up, and they know the Void rushes down.
Yeah, they know Void rushes down. It was used right in front of their faces. No jungler available. It's only the Cloud9 duo lane. His topic Smithy. And how do you stop a level 13 Kha'Zix with Smite from really securing a Baron? This is a 1% chance for Cloud9 to take it away. It's in Fog of War as well. They've even got the damage on a Sneaky. It's even less likely, and there's the pickup. A late smite, but it's secured all the same. 4 kills in a row, plus the Baron now for Counterlogic Gaming.
And Counterlogic Gaming are playing this composition so well. They got off to that early lead off the mistake of Pop, and they're able to punch it. And that's exactly what we were talking about. It's so hard for the Orianna because you have to hit both of the carries in a triple tank comp to make it worthwhile. And right there, he just evaporates Sneaky, who was basically like,
the next wave.
It almost looked like his toe was about to be in the invulnerability. He was so close to it, but it's sniped right before it goes off.
Yep. Unlucky there. You see the bot lane of Cloud9. Much worse than the previous one. Really down the line. Everyone but Contracts having a much worse performance.
True. But everybody on CLG is doing incredibly well right now. And you can even see like Darshan, the build he's gone for, making sure he has Ravenous Hydra, and then it's not even like magic resistance to deal with impact in a split push. It's a Randuin's Omen. He's looking for the attack speed slow here.
Rek'Sai and Varus, of course, pretty important targets. He needs to be able to tank the turrets up. Sneaky just deleted under his own turret. Curtain call into, well, exactly what it is for him now. He's dead. Contract's back in his own jungle. Mid lane tier 2 gone with Baron buff. CLG pushing even more.
Yep, and they'll get this top tier 2 after all those pushes in.
Oh, Jensen, wow, finds himself another side kill after me. We didn't see it coming. That's a quick pickup there. Sadly, an off-screen one, but still 4v4 on the map. Baron buff still feels good. Counterlogic Gaming. A big minion wave in the top side. Darshan with an aggressive ward as well. Now looking for turret damage, and no one here yet to defend him. Finally now a couple of tanks, but who cares because the rest of the squad back into the mid lane, and Darshan literally ignoring the other 2 players on the roster. The stuns don't seem to phase him much. At some point he'll pop the ulti, and now he can walk away.
Yeah, but
1v2, under turret stun. Okay, they'll kill him off. Darshan dies, but yes, you're right. Middle inhibitor goes down. Worth it on the play. Maybe could have left earlier, but even still, CLG farther ahead.
And I do think that this is something that once you get to this level of play and you think about the type of composition they have, great. Actually, pick off Sneaky there. Jensen backed up, Napromu went for the flash play and locked him up. So Sneaky, no QSS, just had 2 items right now. Napromu, I think he just gets chunk. Thunderlords. Yeah, didn't think the Thunderlords would actually do it, but it did there. But I was talking about the high level of play that they're at. It's actually okay for Darshan to do quote-unquote stupid stuff like that because he's causing pressure. He's pulling 2 people to him. 2 people, your death for a turret. Even in just raw gold, it's worth more for the side of CLG.
This is like the old CLG style. This is hotshot GG top lane CLG style. I will overextend top lane. I dare you to gank me 3v1. By the way, we took Dragon.
Yep.
By the way, we took bot lane tier 2 turret. Go ahead and gank me. See what happens the rest of your base.
It's the feed to win strategy.
The feed to win strategy. Darshan for the team 7 deaths. Some of them over-aggressive, to be fair, but a lot of them giving his team an objective somewhere else.
Well, when the enemy top laner can't 1v1 you by any means, you have to pull the jungler up there or he loses priority. Once he loses priority and you didn't pull your jungler up there, then he slowly gets the turret. If you did pull your jungler up there, you get something on the other side of the map. So as a jungler, it's just so hard to react to this, so Contracts has his work cut out for him.
Yeah, and you've, of course, got to balance it right by CLG. A lot of them have been good. Sometimes Darshan kills himself, but by and large, Counterlogic Gaming in control of the map. Moby boots double Cloud Drake Aftermoo. Very easy to find ultis on people. Stixxay's ultimate as well that Kurt call makes it easy. And then the follow-up is there. Huhi and Smithy have tons of burst damage when you follow the lockdown. And this is a comp that's working as a 4-1 squad. The 4 actually all have their own synergies as Darshan has done well to create pressure off the ganks they gave him early.
And this is really cool as well because they're keeping Impact occupied, who's been a big playmaker, big flanker for them. Even if you look at where the wards are placed, like the ward kind of behind CLG in the bush, even if they had flank wards to TP too, he doesn't have the opportunity to because he's held up. Darshan will keep pushing.
Yep.
Here comes the damage on the turret. It's like Impact's like, oh, I gotta go back down bottom. He can't make a play, and it's stifling when you're playing a tank top lane against a Trundle that got an early lead and the team got off the ground.
CLG Gaming very close to cracking the rest of the base. We know mid lane was already cleared out. Top lane is one wave from dead.
And look at what Smithy's doing. Smithy is actually in the lane that has the inhibitor down because it gives him an earlier path to either side. So if 2 people show up bottom, he can do that. If one person's a little bit out of line, and it's constant backline threat. So the way that C9 have to pose is up and to the top of their base, or else they all have to push down, and then you open up the top side for inhib damage. It's just this push and pull, this yo-yo back and forth.
Yep. And C9 need to find some place to turn aggressive right now because they split their focuses to be 4 top 1 bot, lost both turrets anyway.
Impact looking for a TP play. They pinged a ward out. Oh no, nope, they pinged it out, but still he's gonna have to actually try to help. That's
but
all right.
C9 are matching resources down in gold, unsurprisingly losing more of their base. They're not getting any headway. I don't know if they really just think they can't win the 5-on-5 or if they just want to sit in their base and turtle and scale a little bit longer, but they're about to be triple inhib down with a Baron in 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, sick from CLG to notice, and Sneaky caught!
Heavily aggressive play, and Sneaky already gets one shot. Aftermoo gets the shield, he'll stay alive, but the trade kill comes through onto Huhi. Nicely done by Jensen to get some of the damage there. Ulti from Impact helping as well. And the re-engage comes in, both missing one of their primary carries.
Gotta be a little careful. If Jensen is feeling himself, he could actually just E in, go for a Shreem and shuffle.
Got ulti. See what he has to respect. Stikxay has flash, but so does Jensen. Bot lane's still under fire. Of course, that inhibitor is dead, so double inhibitors down. CLG just setting up a camp inside the base. Problem is, in 10 seconds, Sneaky's back, and Huhi won't be. So a tight timing window left open. Third inhibitor down, out goes CLG.
Up, Stixxay.
I think
finding ways is going to be hard because here comes Impact.
Okay, this is the big play for Cloud, then turn it around. They've found Stixxay for some damage. Hook's not going to land, and he's running away. The front line's good enough. Ooh, narrowly navigating that situation. That could have been a catastrophe for CLG in the making. Stixxay dodging enough of the skill shots.
Yep. Root still landed from Impact with the auto attack, but that's the flash for the flash there. And now the Azir's at the point where he can definitely shred people with the Void Staff. But now their base is just in shambles. All 3 inhibitors down. Baron about to be up in 20 seconds here. And CLG with a 14k gold lead.
Yep. Well, we're going to see about 800 gold per minute is roughly the value of minions that are spawning on the map right now that CLG is not going to farm, but Cloud9 are. And so CLG Gaming have to invest against the 800 gold per minute that C9's getting from minions right now. Pick up a Baron, that pushes it back. Pick up an Eldragon, that pushes it back as well.
Yeah, and you can see that
Darshan,
Cloud,
sorry.
Yeah, Darshan, he's actually going to do the Cloud Drake right now to make sure that they have an Elder Dragon at about that 35-minute mark, 36.
Yeah, it'll spawn at 36, 30-something based on when it dies. 6-minute respawn for the first one. And then we'll see what comes up with this. Baron Nashor, of course, available, but a couple of decent defensive boards by Cloud9 actually will spot some of the ingests, the invades, there we go, by CLG to see what they're trying to go for. Jensen even has the time to get his own blue buff. And worth pointing out that the siege took so long, middle inhibitor is actually back up, so not quite the same influx of gold, but even still, CLG ward's good enough to knock this one down. Baron buff on, triple Cloud Drake. They can rotate across the lanes, and this should be what looks like the game-winning push for CLG. They should not need to wait any longer. You can see Darshan hoping to delay the wave as much as he can, wants it to stack up, wants to wait for his teammates.
Yep, a little bit slower on the push.
1-3-1.
Yeah, and they're hitting at about the same time, too. So Smithy and Darshan both coordinated there, and then you can see everybody here. They actually stood still for a bit. Now they're going to Cloud Drake forward because it doesn't look like anybody was pushing. And now you had to clear out top, bot, and deal with this mid here.
Hard inhib to fight for, but C9, I don't think really want to wait for triple inhibs to be dead. Sadly, not much they can do with giant minion waves flooding into the base. Smithy hooked in. He's got to respect this. Ulted CC'd and an overextension from the support. Sorry, from the
Sneaky
jungle.
down.
But a trade kill. Huhi solo kills off the bot laner. Here comes the battle. Big ulti in for Smoothie. Can't get impact in time. It's 2 for 1 in favor of Counter Logic Gaming, and now there's no front line left. They've got everything that they need right now. Minions in the base, and this will be the game-ending play. Counter Logic Gaming tying up the series 1-1. And who would have believed it? The undefeated Cloud9 dropped the game at the hands of CLG, who had such a weak start to the split, but pull in a pretty convincing Game 2 victory.
The camp for Darshan early to set him up, get him that turret. And the base and the rest of the map just started to fall. You can see Cloud9, they had the 5v5 comp, they had the composition that looked like if things go okay for the first 20 minutes, they should be golden. But it's that split push. That split push came online, hold contracts top. He can't do anything about what everybody else is doing on the map, and Huhi had a good game himself, too.
Yeah, Huhi did very well, mechanically pretty solid. Ends the game down in CS under Jensen, but okay, you lost a little bit of minion farm, but played the team fights very well. Several crucial shockwaves, had the 1v1 outplay as well in the mid lane when Jensen went for his big opening. And the thing was, the 4-man group of CLG just did so much work against the 3-man group of Cloud9. Yep. Impact and Contracts spent a lot of time fighting off Tarshan, and to their credit, they did it well. But the plays were made elsewhere. The bot lane dives looked good. The mid lane dives looked good. You had Afro making some really, really nice flash and other grass to pick people off, the shockwave to follow. Very solid game by CLG. Played the comp right.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, is it is a high execution comp with coordination, pulling off a 1-3-1, having a split pusher that you need to set up, or else win condition isn't even really that feasible.
Right.
And then the mid lane, Huhi, with the outplay and the fact that he was able to get those multi-man shockwaves, that's the kicker, because how else are you going to start these fights off unless Afro was flash ulting? That's only one person, but Huhi was getting like 2-3 people sometimes.
Yep. Worked really well. Congratulations, CLG, on the game win. And now let's get a deeper dive on that one. Hand it off to our analysts.
Thank you very much.